For almost a year I raised sheep to get closer to truly sustainable and ethical meat. In this video I'm doing everything from scratch, cutting and drying grass, building a winter shelter and finally processing the meat and hides. I've never done anything like this before, so this isn't a tutorial, it's a real journey of learning by doing. Let's get into it. Off we go. So today we will go mow a field with this tractor so that we get food for the sheep. We need to travel long distances here, and with the tractor it's very slow. So I'm going to drive with the car, my dad is going with the tractor, so that we always have a car and the tractor in the same place if we need to move to the cabin for lunch break, etc. We need to switch a lot of equipment because the one we need it's in the back there. This here is the one we need for cutting the grass. We are missing a part there that should go between there, and I think it's an axle of some sort, and it spins these. So we are going to for a lunch break and search if it's at the cabin. Let's see if we have the correct part now.
Se lukittiin tällä.
No.
Siinä stop. Tänne päin. Mikäs näistä tää laitetaan?
My dad will now drive that to the fields, and I'll follow him with the car. This is the field. As you see, it's really overly grown. There are a bunch of stuff other than grass. We heard is that sheep love to eat just everything, like dried. Nokkonen is one of their favorites. So we will be cutting down the grass here, drying some for the sheep, and the rest we will try to keep here to attract deer and other animals. Let's see how it goes. My first time cutting a field like this. Right there are blades that start spinning, and they can cut the grass very nicely.
Painat vähän ja väännät sinne oikealle päin.
Toi nostaa.
Laske.
Niin joo, käsikaalu.
Voidaan olla.
Tässä on kato hyvän näköinen. Oh, that was sweaty. But look, now the first field, or the first part of the field is done. So we need to use this next. This kind of like throws the grass on the side and piles it. We have never used this before. It works like it should, but we are missing the part that goes from here to the tractor that actually spins these things. So we'll try to figure out something else, or otherwise we have to do it manually. Well, good morning. Oli vähän se In Finland we have this special kind of gas that's basically diesel, but it's colored so that the police will notice if you put it on your regular diesel truck. But you are allowed to use this in this kind of farming trucks or tractors. Noin. We bought a new shaft and hopefully this is long enough. Mieluummin ettei vähän tipaa.
Menee nopeasti.
Menee.
Ei se nopeasti.
Niin sammuttaa se. Okay, let's see if I can get this started. We're doing the drying in very traditional way. Näistä jonkunnäköiset tulee. This is a very traditional way of drying up hay and grass. It was used in times before these machines. Nowadays everybody just piles these up with machines. This is a bit too moist still. It should have dried a bit longer, but it is supposed to rain this evening and tomorrow, so we need to just stack these up now. What will happen next is that these will stay here for a few weeks and the wind will dry them, the sun will dry them, and then we need to move them for cover before winter. Our ancestors really had to work their ass off. This is so sweaty and exhausting. Ooh, it's been a while since I last time filmed this video, but now I'm at my sister's place, the sheep are here, and this weekend we are supposed to slaughter the sheep and process them to food. Kuka se siellä on? Terve Mini! Moikka!
Ootkohan sinä...
Täälläkö mä majoittuisin? No ihan hyvinhän tänne mahtuu.
Niin, ne on kyllä aika semmoinen.
Vahingossa oli jättänyt
Let's go check out the sheep.
lanta.
Oho. Kylläpä teitä on paljon täällä. This is the first time for me seeing them live. I've only seen videos of them. Terve.
Se saa kaikkea.
Ai nää kaksikko ihana. Terve. So this weekend we will make a winter fence for 5 of the sheep and slaughter 4 of them. My sister also have chickens here. And these have hay in it. That's what we did on the field. We did it in a traditional way. This is the modern way of doing it. So it's filled with dry hay and it's packed tightly, easy to transport and store. And tomorrow we have to build the fence around this, and the shipping container will be their home for the winter. Wow! Yes!
Ding, ding, ding.
We have a lot to do tomorrow, so we're going to sleep. See you guys in the morning.
There's maybe one chicken there.
Laitat sen sinne. Sinne, teemme rikki. Here we have eggs straight from the chickens. Okay, let's go to work. So this is the container where the sheep will live through the winter.
Jos lähtee, se pyörität. Tässä saa nosteltua sinne.
Kato kun
Se on niin helppoa.
kaatuu.
Joo.
Now we have the flooring for the sheep that will also work as insulation. Onko sillä väliä? Mä voin vetää tän katot. In the summer, the sheep have a electric fence, but during the winter it's not necessary. Also, the electric fence needs to get the electricity from the fence, but the ground from the actual ground. So during the winter, the ground is full of snow, so it can't get a circulation, and that's why it won't work during the winter. So we'll just build a regular fence for the winter.
Jäljellä. Elfi. Ulkonäköinen vikuhan. Laadullisesti tuota.
Oh no, we've run out of fence, so we are 6 meters short. Thankfully there is a shop nearby where we can get more, and we just used zip ties to tie then the fence to the poles.
Se alkaa kärähtää tästä päältä.
While others head to town to get some more of that fence, me and my sister we install all the electricals to the container. The electrics should be easy to install because we are just going to pull an extension cord from the house to the container. Then we have a LED light with a motion sensor. Let's see if it works first. Yep. Here we have the heater. Oh. Siihen tolppaan kiinni sinne. So we are going to install a heated water source, a heater, and a light with movement sensor. Now I have the cord coming through the ventilation hole right here. No siinä. This should light up the container, not from the back of the container, because otherwise it will just blind you. Tässä and we got light! Yes, it's working!
Se on ihan superpainava tää.
Ne just pitäisi mennä kiinni. And this door will never be like fully closed. There will always be a small gap. So now that's perfect. And here we have an electrically heated bucket so that the water won't freeze during the winter. Ämpäri. Mikä? Ei muuta. Tossahan se on varmaan. Niin kirkas. No. So now we have the heated bucket there. It's firmly attached so that the animals can't push it upside down because it needs to have water inside, otherwise it can overheat. Iskä vois käydä. Onkin siinä ainakin alku. So now the heater is installed. By the way, don't take any tips from these installations. It's purely just done by an amateur. Tai sinne väliä kuljettaa sillä lailla.
Sieltähän voi se, että kuka sieltä
Yhden tämmöisen pitkä.
Okay, the fence is ready. The reason why we left these hay bales inside here is that during the winter we can just lift up the roof and move it on top of the hay bales. On top of the hay bales, and the food won't get covered with snow. Time to move the sheep here. Still decided to put a cover for the cord. And now we'll try to move the sheep that will live the winter in that fence to the fence area, so let's see how it goes. Valkokorvanen kiinni. Ihan rauhassa.
Joo, kävele vaan just.
No niin, sä mennä. Mä menen Hyvä! No niin, yes, me saatiin ne. Those 4 will be processed to meat, so they'll stay there, and these other ones will stay the winter in their new home. Whew. Yes, so now we have all the 4 sheep that will be processed to food in their own area, and the sheep that will live for the winter here in their new home. This is the most ecological way of getting meat instead of like mass-produced meat. They've lived a happy life here on this farm. They've been treated well, and it's just the cycle of life that theirs come to an end now. I'm not going to show the full process of how we do it because I think that it might shock some of my viewers, and the point of the video is not to make a tutorial on how you can do it yourself, but just to like bring awareness on the topic and show you what is really behind the production of meat. Also learn myself, because my point of view is that if you're able to eat meat, you should be able to get that meat yourself. Noniin. This is what there's left from it. Now we have to repeat this process just 3 more times. And I know this might look really disgusting, and that is why I won't show you everything that's included in the process. But currently the sheep are in the form of a meat. If you have seen meat in the store, I think you can handle these views as well. If you don't, just skip to my other video. Took some time, but now all of the 4 are done. Heippa! So I'm now headed to my parents' place. We're going to hang the meat there, and tomorrow we're going to process them down. I also have to put the hides all ready to salt this evening. Here I have 6 kilograms of salt. I currently don't have enough time to process the hide. It's a very long process. So I'm just going to add a bunch of salt to them and store them for a while until I have time to process. Joo. My ideology is that if I'm willing to eat an animal, if something is killed because I eat it, I should be able to do the same myself. We ended their life without pain, it happened quickly, and we're going to use as much of the animals as we possibly can. I need to sharpen the knives we used yesterday because today we will process the meat. So now here we have the vacuuming machine. We can just straight vacuum the good pieces, and this machine is used to make minced meat so that we can use as much of the meat as we possibly can. Tähän näin vaan. I'm trying out this new filleting knife I got from WeKnife for the first time. It's a foldable filleting knife.
Sä oot täältä näin lähdet vetämään.
Joo.
Se vaan lähtee tästä näin sitten. Voisin myös vähän heittää saman tien pois.
Noin. Sitten... Noin.
Onko fileet? Ja tää voi olla hyvä irrottaa ekana. Tässä on tää tämmönen ihme. Jostakin niin.
Nähkää kun vaan vetelee.
Jos on
Here we have the front legs and we're just going to make grounded meat out of these. We have approximately 2 kilograms of minced meat, 2 kilograms of other meat, and then 2.5 kilograms with the ribs and the neck, including bones. Now I just have to repeat this process for another sheep. So this is basically all that comes out of one lamb. We have the tenderloin, entrecote, sirloin, liver, heart, ribs, neck, roast in a few different forms, bones for soup, and then minced meat. It's not much, but in total it's around 5 kilograms of meat from a small sheep. No niin, heippa! Well, this was a really interesting week and did something I had never done before and developed so many skills. I'm now going to drive home, but I still have to come back here and finish those hides because I want to make a blanket out of the hides. It's going to be a long process still, but see you then. It's been now a few weeks since I last time added salt to the hides. The hide is looking all nice and good. It's currently winter here. It's freezing cold, as you might see. So in addition for them being in salt, they are also frozen.
Mikä siellä on?
Niin. I'll just leave the hide here for the night. It can melt, and in the morning I'll try to just clean it out from all the salt, grease, fat, meat, blood and everything, and then I also need to wash the hides. I will wash the hide with 8 grams of soda, 45 grams of dish soap, and then I'll use alcohol, denatured spirit, and 30 milliliters of this. I'll add around 15 liters of water to my mixture. And now I let that soak in there for 15 minutes to half an hour and come wash it every now and then. There are a few holes in the hide, so I need to sew those down before I let it dry. Now I need to once again cover it with salt and store it until I get the chemicals for the next process. So next I'll prepare the hides for tanning, which is kind of the final part of the process. And I'm going to put the hides into acid bath. Here I have some acid, safety gloves, I have to measure the pH value, and some salt. And add around 1.5 kilos of salt. I'm using hot water so that the salt dissolves in there easier. And now I'll repeat the process there. Now I'll add water to these so that I have 40 liters of water. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40. That's gonna take some time. And I'll use these to measure the pH value. Around 100 here. And 100 there. I only have 200 milliliters, but I just read that I should have way more. So let's see how down I can get the pH with this, and if I have to get some more tomorrow. Oh shoot, but I just realized that this goes only to 6.6, not as low as I need. But let's try this anyways, so at least I know if the pH didn't go down enough. I have no idea what it means that this is so bright yellow, but 6.6 is this kind of pale orange, so I think the pH is quite low. Now I let those sit and do some research, maybe get some proper pH measuring sticks and hopefully a bit more acid, because I think the pH is way too high on these. I measured the pH to be around 5 right now. I need to get it under 2.5. So I have to add a lot of vinegar. And oh boy, it will smell horrible if I do it inside. I made some calculations inside that how much the pH should be. So it should be around 2.7 right now. I need to go under 2.5, but not lower than 2. And I have no ways of measuring these. I couldn't find any like these measuring sticks, and the pH meter that I had doesn't measure that low. So from now on it's just guessing. Let's hope this goes correctly, because I've put so much effort to these hides. The pH of the acid bath was around 2.5, so now in the tanning part the hide should be in pH of around 4, so I have to neutralize these. I need 10 liters of water and 100 grams of soda. It's now been 15 minutes, so these should be around pH 4. 250 grams of salt. And then I'll use this kind of aluminium tanning powder. I need to add 250 grams to each as well. I feel like there is not enough of the solution. I probably need to double that.
Noin.
Vaiheet.
Okei.
Sen jälkeen on Alright, so this is the final chemical process, but now I leave these here for 24 hours for tanning, so see you guys tomorrow. It's now been 24 hours, so let's check on these. I can't see any of that aluminium here. I think the powder soaked into the hides. I'm just putting these hides through a spin cycle in the washing machine so they dry up much quicker. And this just went through the spin cycle and it feels so dry already. I took the hides home with me now that I was done with the processing, and what I have left is to let them dry fully, and while I'm waiting for them to dry I need to soften it so that the leather doesn't dry up like really hard. It's been a few days and every now and then I come here to soften them up. But as you see, they're really not that soft. It feels like wood. Now you can see how this stays almost like level. I didn't do any softening to this yet, so I'll just quickly soften it up and let's see how it affects that. Now this is after 10 minutes or so of softening. I can get it like bendy enough so that it will work as a blanket, but these edges here are like super hard. There's really nothing I can do about this anymore. But as a camping blanket or a sleeping pad, I think this works nicely. It is time for the last step of this whole project, and oh boy, it's been a long time. I just now have to sew these hides together to make one really big blanket. These are now completely dry. They smell like dry leather. I can't get the needle through these hard pieces. Let me try to take pliers. My pliers are at the off-grid cabin. Oh, I think this will be an impossible task. I'm not exactly sure if I can get these sewed together. Like you see, I wasn't able to soften them enough, and these brown parts are like really hard. I can't get the needle through these. So it's a bit disappointing to me that I can't make this kind of a big blanket out of these as I was expecting, but I can just use these as individual pieces on my off-grid cabin and in camping in general. These would work great as a sitting pad or something like that. But it was a long project. Starting last summer, and I'm not exactly sure what you guys will think about this. At least I do think that getting meat this way is the most ethical way possible, but it would be nice to hear your opinions of the topic in the comments. But if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and remember to subscribe so you won't miss my upcoming videos. Like said, my off-grid cabin build started and I'm currently editing the first episode that's coming out soon. But otherwise, thank you for watching and see you on our next adventure.